What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is 𝗦𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏, and today we are going to be reviewing a brand new update for a Twisted Path to Renown. And after reviewing, we're going to be going over several different things. So thank you so much for being here. If you are interested in a Twisted Path to Renown, then you are in the right place. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get into it. So we're gonna hop right into the patch notes, and as you can see here, this is just a post straight from 𝗟𝗏𝗡 in the official Discord, one of the main developers. We're gonna go over each change, and then we're gonna talk about the changes that have been made in game, and we're gonna compare to how they were before and how they are now. In the first note, it says now players and NPCs drop amulets. Amulets serve as an affirmation of your victories, as well as valuable resources. So I'm assuming that this is their response to some people asking for dog tags. So this is a way to see who you killed. So if you kill a player, they will drop an amulet, and on the amulet it will say who the player was that you killed. That's pretty cool. And next is changed energy and fullness debuffs. Now you'll be moving at a way faster speed, even with 0 energy and full fullness. So this is saying if you completely have maxed out your stomach fullness and you normally get that stamina and sprinting speed debuff, those restrictions are going to be not as heavy, as well as the energy. Like if your energy is super low, or if you have a combination of the two, the debuffs aren't going to be affecting you as much, so you'll actually be able to move. I know that was a big complaint for a lot of people, especially a lot of new players starting out, that when they had these debuffs, it was like you're moving so slow that you might as well just die or close the game and start again. So this is a welcome change for sure. Next change, significantly reworked materials penetration. That's cool. Fixed gun phantom shooting issue. This is a really big one that they've been working on for a while, as well as some other visual bugs with shooting as well. Like sometimes like it would fire automatically, like where if you fire one time, if you click, it would fire like full auto as a revolver, which was kind of off-putting, especially for the period that this game is taking place. But as far as like the phantom shooting issue, I think they're referring to like when you shoot at an AI and it doesn't actually deal damage toward the AI. They're fixing that. Like now it's actually going to deal the damage that it's supposed to every time. Double action guns now fire without delay. This one I'm really interested in seeing how they made this change, and maybe it's going to be better than it was before, because previously double action revolvers of any kind, whether it was a 23-inch rifle or it was just an 8-inch revolver, they were simply not viable. We are going to be checking this out. They said they improved scopes. They reworked ballistics and improved performance for the 41 volcanic. Okay, that's interesting. Localization to Ukrainian was added. Early localization was added for German, Spanish, Japanese, Korean, and simplified Chinese. This is pretty cool. I did also see in the official Discord that they are looking for ethnicities of all kinds to help translate the game into your native language. So if you're German, Spanish, Japanese, Korean, or any other language other than English, and you would like to assist in translating the game, make sure you join up the official Discord. A link will be in the description below, and help them out. And if you see any errors, fill out a bug report, so that way they know that that there is in fact an issue. Next, added new consumables: morphine syringe, rusty morphine syringe, express care kit, emergency health kit, propolis treatment box, and minor emergency kit. This is really cool to see, because for the longest time I said that with all of the economy reworks, with how expensive some of the stuff had gotten in comparison to like the early days of the beta, they needed a larger variety of heals, like new ways to be able to heal yourselves that were effective and cost effective, really. So I'm hoping this adds a lot more variety in that department. Next, we have added new extraction points, and the requirements for the existing ones have been changed. Interesting. So as you guys know, I've been working on a personal player made map. Although I will say a new web-based map has already been created by the player base, so I'm not sure if I'm going to continue the Mappening or not. You guys can let me know down in the comment section if you would like me to continue to update that map. The whole difference between a web-based map and a physical map like I have made is you can filter out what you're looking for on the web-based ones, where like if you're specifically looking for an extract, you can filter those out, or if you're specifically looking for a type of boss or a compound or something like that, you can filter those out. So it's actually very cool, and I definitely don't want to step on the people that have put in the effort to make the web-based map. Huge shout out to them. I am simply not versed in HTML coding of any kind, so I'm glad that someone has finally done it. But again, if you guys would like me to update the Mappening, please let me know in the comment section below. The range of goods that may be available from or for sale from some vendors has been expanded. This has been so absolutely needed. I am excited to see what they have expanded, because a few updates ago in Auction House update, when they nerfed a lot of the market vendors, they made it to where you cannot purchase a lot of things that you need to craft even basic armor, or they significantly increased the price of ammo and things to craft said ammo. So I hope that they reworked it in a way that's going to make it more new player friendly, so that way when you get in for the first time, you can really get what you need and get into raid without having to spend every dime that you have. Improved animations and visuals for most items. I'm pretty excited about that too. I've said for a long time that the UI has needed work. Not only the UI, but like they used a lot of the same pictures for many of the items. Like, for example, for the food, seed potatoes, the image that they used for seed potatoes was used for almost all of the food variants other than food that contains fish. So this is a welcome sight to see that they're implementing new visuals and animations for certain things. I'm sure we'll see what those are along the way. The drop list for Medic and his group have been changed. I'm assuming when they say for Medic and his group have been changed, I'm assuming they're talking about Stitches, Dominic Stitches from Military Medic House. So I'm pretty interested to see what the new loot pool is there. And fixed a bug where the shovel could not be listed for sale at the auction house. Okay, that's good. Added missing text for a couple of merchants. Nice. Now digging up a single chest consumes 100% of the shovel's durability. Oof. So they recently dropped a treasure event, and if you have a shovel and you have a player made map or the web-based map, you would be able to go on there, find the treasure with pretty easily, not horribly difficult. It's kind of a really big nerf right there. It used to only take about 20%, so you'd get 5 treasures out of 1 shovel. And I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, because the abundance of loot that you got from 1 treasure location, it was pretty good, man. I think it's like between 5 and 7 items or so. I mean, I know if you're in a squad and you're dividing up the treasure, that's not very many. Like, everybody might only get 1 or 2 pieces. Having the shovel have multiple uses was nice for squads, but for solos it was like a little overwhelming, because they would just run around and take all of the treasure. So by the time players that had never gone treasure hunting before went to go and look for it, it was not available, or it was already dug up and all the loot was already taken. So maybe this is a balancing factor that could be welcomed. We shall see. Next, fixed Edgar Mills compass barter. Okay, I did see that they added a compass in a previous update. I have not noticed a bug with the compass, but glad to see that they're changing that. Some of the exits now spawn deactivated and won't be available for a short period of time. You'll be able to see when the exit appears. I'm assuming this is directly speaking about the extraction points again. So some of the exits will spawn deactivated and won't be available for a short period of time. You'll be able to see which exit appears. So before, it was like all you had to do was click on your map, and on the right hand side of the map you can see a list of all the extracts. I'm wondering if that is still the same thing or not. Very interesting. All right, Well, now getting into the actual update, the only thing I have done since launching Twisted Path To Renown is went through and refreshed every single person in the market. Okay, and as you can see, we can see a rebalance of prices in 𝗦𝗦𝗕𝗦𝗕 for all of the medicine and some of the new items, the 𝗟𝗡𝗕𝗕 treatment boxes. $2.50 is kind of steep in my opinion. However, you do get 2 use for 52 and you get 5% max quickness. Again, I love these little buffs that they're adding to some of these things, because since food is pretty expensive to craft, having these buffs from other things that you can have in your arsenal that may not cost as much are definitely a welcome sight. I wonder what it's going to cost to craft something like the 𝗟𝗡𝗕𝗦𝗕 treatment box. If you guys would like to see a separate video on the new ins and outs of crafting medic items, let me know down in the comment section. Next, we have James Harrow, and it does seem like very much so a lot of things are the same here. However, you can see a new visual for the Boda bags that jumps off immediately, and a new visual for 𝗟𝗕𝗕𝗦𝗕. However, the prices seem about the same, and as far as an expanded inventory, I don't really see that either. I see he has tannin powder. However, it's $6.50 for 36 grams. So that is very expensive. I know tannin bandages, they do offer some buffs as well when you use them, so that could be very viable. However, that is a very, very steep price for new players. But I do like to see thin iron plates, a stack of 4 of them for only 24 cents. That is a welcome sight, as well as a hand file. But for a hand file at 63% at the price of $2.70, that means the hand file is going to cost you about $4.50, $4.25 at 100%. That's pretty steep in my opinion. Moving on, William Thompson. It does appear that not much has changed with William Thompson, and as far as an expanded inventory with him, he only has 1 weapon for sale, and I feel like this is kind of an issue. I would really like to see many more weapons added to the arsenal. As far as like the ammos offered, he does offer 16 gauge slugs at tier reputation 5. I'm not sure what this exactly looks like at tier 1. I'm assuming it would all be cut off from the last 2 lines. And also for the good volcanic ammo at 91, it's coming out $1.37. That's decent. And for the poor ammo, it's only $1.32. That doesn't seem right to me. $1.37 versus $1.32 for the good ammo, like a 5-cent difference is not enough. I would almost say dropping the 79 damage volcanic ammo down to about half of what it is currently, so about 75 cents for a stack of the poor ammo, and then keeping this ammo at about $1.40 would be like ideal. I don't know why there's not more separation there. 5 cents just is not enough, especially when talking about how expensive a lot of the different items are within this game. Also, I did notice that you used to be able to purchase the really good smokeless grain, which you're no longer able to. You used to be able to purchase smokeless powder number 5 in here, and it was rather expensive, but at least you were able to purchase it. Now you're only able to purchase genuine smokeless, but it's $1.44. That seems at least a little bit more realistic for new players, as well as offering the superfine quadruple F black number 1. This will craft you very decent ammo starting out, especially if you already have a swaging press or maybe even a bullet press and you're starting to get into your smokeless ammo types. I would like to see a little bit more of an expansion in here for different things that are offered. I do see that they added tallow. However, waxed ammunition isn't very great, if I'm being completely honest with you. Moving on to Edgar Mills. Not overwhelming, that's for sure. Right off the bat, I'm noticing that the dipper and the frying pan seem significantly expensive. The dipper at $2.12 for 42%, and the frying pan at $2.24 for 40%. for 40% durability. This means roughly it's going to cost you $5 for a full 100% dipper and frying pan. I feel like that has been significantly increased in price, and I don't really see an expansion in its inventory. However, a welcome sight is that they are offering a pickaxe for 62 cents. See, this is something that I'm not really understanding, right? It's like the dipper and the frying pan, items that can easily be found at Caravan Camp, 𝗟𝗕𝗕𝗦𝗥𝗘𝗕 farm, just in the kitchen. You can get a frying pan and a dipper right off the table. It doesn't make sense to me that these are so expensive, be it a pickaxe, which you need to get all of your ores in your workshop, to get all of your baseline materials to even craft ammunition and everything, is so cheap at 62 cents. So I feel like a rebalance for the cost of food tools and actual tools is definitely needed, and more expansion in Edgar Mills would be welcomed. Nathaniel Harrington still doesn't have a damn thing. Useless motherfucker. All right, Samuel Cole, he does have an expanded inventory compared to before. Many more weapons, and it does look like they reduced the price across the board. Keep in mind that when you buy one of these weapons, typically they're in the 30 to 40 percentile range. So after a couple shots, when they drop below the 30%, they will start misfiring. Again, speaking on the volcanic ammo, this is $1.76 for 79 damage ammunition. I feel like that was incorrect. That's actually a glitch. Yeah, because in here it's $1.32 for the 79 damage in William Thompson, and then if you go back to Samuel Cole, it's $1.76 for the poor ammo. So I'm not sure if that's just a glitch on Samuel Cole's end or what's going on there. The shotgun ammo is rather underwhelming. The prices are cheap, but you get what you pay for in that scenario, because this ammo is not very good at all. And the same holds true with the 38 ammo. I could not in good conscience recommend anybody purchase the 38 ammo at $1.50 a pop. It's just at 87 damage and 81 damage, you can craft better yourself. But the weapons, however, are a welcome sight. I would like to see a little bit more of an expansion, even if that means more expensive on the prices in the ammunition department, and maybe offer a few different variants of the shotgun ammo, as there are bolo, slugs, and other variants as well. Moving on to Benjamin Carter. Not much has changed here. However, when I first launched, I immediately noticed that he was offering linen cloth for 45 cents. I immediately purchased it. That is a welcome sight here. Let's see if we refresh again. Yep, now he has cotton cloth for 40 cents. That is absolutely essential for crafting your backpacks and side bags, as well as armor. So that was nice to see. Other than that, the prices still remain slightly elevated for backpacks, side bags, holsters, and things of that nature. And last but not least, Clara Mitchell. Unfortunately, she did not offer any of the linen threads. Normally, I would love to see her offering linen and cotton threads on every refresh, because again, you're going to need those to craft all of your armors, even tier 3s, because the tier 3s, if you're going to purchase them from her, cost $3.42 a pop, which is exorbitant. Very, very expensive for a new player to run. And this is going to be one of the only ways you can really defend yourself against hordes of AI if you plan on going to large compounds. If you go in with just a flannel shirt and normal tier 1, tier 0 pants, tier 0 protection class, you are going to be very quickly dispatched back to the lobby. And then of course we have Miles Baxter with his barters for the new event cards. These event cards can be found in the treasure locations. Going back through on the barters, some of the trades have been updated. I do feel like this medicine cabinet trade is very, very expensive and not worth it, because it requires 2 surgical kits. These cost $6 a piece, plus 3 books of medicine and 4 tier 3 calendula salves. That's just, it's not worth it. These hold 20 slots and they cannot hold aid boxes within them, so it does not feel like a viable storage solution that I would be willing to fork out some of my best heals and a lot of money for. That's $12 and a lot of crafting materials for the calendula salves. That is not very good. Although I will say a direct trade for the tobacco pipe for an aid box, that is awesome. A silver fork and a rusty fork for a calendula salve, that is a very good deal. In fact, I'll go ahead and just take that right now. Those are very good heals. Moving on to 𝗟𝗜𝗘𝗦𝗦𝗥𝗕𝗘, a silver ring for a drill mill, a silver ring with filigree pattern. That's interesting. So they've offered new variants of silver rings, possibly. That's decent. I wouldn't say hold your breath and hold out for this trade, but if you have not found a drill mill yet, this is a decent trade. Chest piece for the brass sheets, that's always been a popular one. And oil can for oil, that's very good as well. William Thompson. Woo, we see some prices here. Okay, a half pint rum bottle for a trigger, magazine spring for a silver fork, not worth. $20 for an 8x scope. That's horrible. I would never pay that. An 8x scope, in my opinion, is very zoomed, although they did say they reworked scopes, so I'm interested to see what that means for the scopes today. And then $5 for a 2x scope, that's actually very good. I'll buy that right now. A Child Jesus for smokeless number 5, that's decent. Child Jesus and a book of medicine for a floor plate, not so worth it. $2 for a rifle grip kit, that's okay, that's good. And $15 for an 8x scope. But why is there a $20 for an 8x scope and a $15 for an 8x scope? That feels a little counterproductive. I'm assuming that they wanted to just add the possibility of it to be there. Instead, it's popping both of them at the same time. $5 for a rifle firing kit, that's decent. Rugged single action firing mechanism for $5, that's huge. That's how you make your 23-inch rifles. Last but not least, a $2 for a double barrel shotgun frame kit. That's decent. I don't use double barrels very often, and it feels like the price is right there. Moving on to Edgar Mills. The bear figurine for a 100% axe. Again, I feel like that is a steal. If you need any tools, that is a very, very good trade, because the cost for things like woodworking has been significantly increased. So for like a black walnut log, as an example, it will take 9% for 1 full log of black walnut. So you'll get 10 logs out of 1 axe before it is broken. So again, I do feel like they need to rebalance like how much it costs for these tools. The small storage bin, that's okay. That's not great. But early on, plates and a rusty knife, that is a easy trade. So if you need some storage early on, that is a good one. $8 for a tier 5 protection class linen shirt with pockets. That is expensive. As a new player, I could not justify that. However, if you're a veteran and you have the money to spare, it's tier 5 armor. But again, if you go into your workshop and you just go to your clothes and then go to a linen jacket, you can make tier 5 armor for fairly cheap. So that I don't really feel like it's very viable, especially with how cheap the thin iron plates are from 𝗟𝗜𝗏𝗦𝗥𝗕𝗘. I just can't in good conscience recommend that you make that barter. And last but not least, a compass for a powder measuring tool, a chisel, and a hammer. That is huge. I'm going to make that trade right now because I am constantly running out of powder measuring tools. That is a huge trade to me. I love that. That was very welcome to see. Nathaniel Harrington, again, offering ore for ore. I don't really ever do this personally. In fact, I feel like trading iron for lead, you're just shooting yourself in the foot, because you need your iron to make your iron thick plates, as well as your barrels for your rifles, and you need lead for your ammunition. So I don't really recommend making these trades. I would say just go out, find the materials that you need. We did speak about this previously. When you're making lead tin ore, you do not need to find an abundance of tin. Tin is very abundant, so when you get a couple of stacks of it, you don't need to trade for it. So never trade for tin. That would be my best recommendation there. Now to 𝗟𝗟𝗡𝗘, a Byzantine bracelet for 4 hand bombs. They're worth $2 to $3 a piece. The Byzantine bracelet goes for about $9.50 if you sell it directly to Edgar Mills. So that's pretty much a trade if you just want hand bombs at the same value. A silver spoon for a 30% $30.99. That is a horrible trade. I mean, it's already at the point where it's going to start misfiring, and silver spoons are like unicorns. They are extremely rare, although recently I have found 2 of them since starting to play again, right here and right here. But again, I have hundreds of hours in this game, probably nearly 1,000 hours in this game. I've played it quite a bit. I would say hundreds of hours in this game, and I do not, these are the first 2 silver spoons I've ever found, to give you an idea. So making that trade, I can't say it's a very good one. A silver knife for 2 convex lenses, again, not the best trade. The lenses do come fairly commonly, so as you can see, I have 17 of the convex lenses, and trading your silver knife for it when they sell for about $4, that just doesn't seem worth it to me. So I personally wouldn't do it, but if you're really hurting to make a scope, I guess you could, but I would recommend just finding it in raid and not making that trade. Next, we got Benjamin Carter. He is still pushing this expedition pack horse. Okay, the downside of this pack horse is it is so heavy. It is the heaviest backpack in the game, although it is a 30 slot backpack. If you are going to go with a 30 slot backpack, you definitely want the capacious fillets, which looks slightly different. You can find it inside of your workshop, and then under gear and backpack, and then go down all the way to a light 30 slot backpack, and this is what it looks like. It weighs less, and it is just overall better than that backpack. Keep in mind, if you are going to make this trade for a silver knife and a silver fork for the expedition pack horse, that it is in fact a very heavy backpack, and make sure that you have enough strength, stamina, and energy to run it, or you will be moving slow as molasses, buckaroo. And a tobacco box for a compact knapsack, that is a very welcome trade to see. I thought they took this out. I'm gonna go ahead and take that right now, because I am constantly out of backpacks, and this backpack costs $3.50 from the traditional trade, or $3.45, so that is nice to see as well. All right, going over to Clara Mitchell for her trades, $2 for a tier that is huge. That is huge, actually, because she traditionally charges $3.42 for a tier 3. So making a barter, and it's a shirt with, and oh my god, look at the lifespan. It lasts 34.4 kilometers. Even the shirts that you could buy from her for $3.40, they only last 25.6 kilometers. That is huge. This barter is amazing for $2. I will gladly take that. And then trading $5 for 2 boar skin. It's a little expensive. Boar are difficult to deal with, and if you hate boar, you can go ahead and make that trade. Last but not least, again, Miles Baxter is offering some crazy new trades for the collectible cards, which can be found in the treasure chest from the treasure event. This is very, very cool, and I would definitely highly recommend that you guys are pursuing the treasure, so that way you can get these cards to get some of the best loot in the game for very, very cheap, simply trading these cards straight across for a ton of ingots, or a ton of different tools or machinery, or some of the best ammo in the game that you can even craft is huge. As well as they offer a new golden ring for gentlemen's suits. this is kind of cool. But overall, this is going to be my review for the new update. If you guys would like to see new content from this update coming out in the future, like I said, we are going to be releasing a video on the double action comparison from how it was previously to how it is now. But let me know down in the comment section what you guys would like to see next. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I look forward to seeing you next time.